The craziest thing about Jimmy Butler is he wins so much without an MVP type box score. Like, it's easy to see Luka's impact, like, oh, he scores 30 points a game. But what does Jimmy actually do? Like, shots per game, stars like SGA, 22 field goal attempts, Luka 21, even the amazing passer Nikola Jokic takes 19 shots a game. But Jimmy attempts fewer than Dylan Brooks or Alex Sarr. Kind of weird for a guy named Jimmy Buckets. But he impacts winning like the MVPs at the top of that list. How? Well, it turns out Jimmy might be the most underrated star in recent history. Just look at his impact at every stop. Leaves the Bulls, they go from playoffs to a 27-win team. Goes to Minnesota, makes the playoffs for the first time in 13 years. He leaves, they go back to being garbage. Helped out Philly, goes to the Heat, makes the finals year one. Now Golden State, 15-2 with Jimmy Butler. So how does this man do it? Well, I want to look at that, but ultimately, can the Warriors win to finally get Jimmy the ring he deserves? But C4 Energy is fueling the NCAA basketball tournament. Literally, they signed 128 athletes, one from each tournament team for the biggest NIL signing in college basketball history. Now, I'm an energy drink guy, and C4 has everything that I'm looking for. 200 milligrams of caffeine, 5 calories, 0 sugar. And the cool thing for athletes, they are certified sport, which means the C4 meets the highest safety standards, trusted and tested for 290 banned substances. So it's good for star athletes, like Player of the Year candidate Johnny Broome, or the women's favorite, Lauren Betts over at UCLA. So grab a C4 while you're playing basketball or while you're just watching the tournament, and check out their full list of players on Instagram with the hashtag C4BracketBreakers, and get some C4 energy for your next hoop session right here, and use the code AMHOOPS at checkout for 10% off your order. Okay, so first off, people all worried about the spacing. Oh, Jimmy, Draymond, and Kuminga can't shoot threes, it's gonna kill Steph. Actually, Steph's not a normal person, okay? He doesn't need 10 feet of space. Like, if the defense wants to sink heavy in the gap, provide extra help in the lane, oh, Steph just needs the slightest bit of space to get off his jumper. And Jimmy fits perfectly with the Dubs' spaced out screen heavy offense. Duke creates space with his elite screens. He doesn't have to shoot threes to make space. Like their go-to set in the last decade, a split action. Ball fed to the mid post, then a pin down or flare screen creates so much room for Buddy Hield. But Jimmy is so versatile in the space and screen offense, he could be the one setting the screen to create space for a shooter, or he could be the one making the read as a passer, or he could be the one who's taking the screen to cut knife to the basket. But Jimmy is only averaging about 11 shots per game, his lowest since he was a Bull. But that doesn't mean he's not still a legit ISO scorer. He has developed an above average mid-range game, of course. He has a first step still, even in his 30s, to blow by defenders, put pressure on the rim. And of course, the physicality to draw fouls, which gets him to the line a ton. The Warriors have gone from 27th in free throw differential to number 1 in the NBA now. So even though Jimmy's not a shooter, when he's got the ball, it commands respect, which pulls attention from the gap and weak side defense, opens windows for his passing. Okay, now, Jimmy's not on the level of passing as like a Luka or a Jokic, but he makes the right play. It's easy for him, especially with other high IQ teammates. I mean, watch these two help defenders completely hone in on Jimmy Butler with the ball. It allows Draymond to cut to an uncontested layup. Oh, they didn't see that when Steph was off the floor before they got Jimmy Butler. And speaking of, do you remember what Golden State used to do in non-Steph minutes? A lot of the Brandon Podziemski show, okay? And I love B-Pods, but you are not gonna win NBA games like that. Now, they can win the non-Steph minutes. So his value on the court goes way beyond just scoring. What makes Jimmy special is that he can impact the game in so many small ways. Little things like screening, making the simple pass, being able to fill every position on the floor. It is adding up and having a huge impact. And all of this is not even to mention his elite defense. But the big question is, are the Warriors an actual contender? Well, according to FanDuel, before Jimmy, the Warriors were plus 8,000. Now they jumped to plus 2,100, a tier 2 team. Tier 1 is OKC, Boston, and Cleveland. Tier 2 is the Nuggets, Lakers, and now the Dubs, which is great. But what's holding them back from being tier 1? Well, first of all, 15-1 with Jimmy is great, but after All-Star, wins are a lot easier to come by. Like the Jazz, for example, are 1-9 in their last 10. Nets are 2-8, same with Philly. Teams are trying to lose games, and the Warriors are taking advantage. So half their last 18 games are against under 500 squads. Teams who are trying to lose, and their best wins are over the struggling Bucks twice, the Knicks without Cat, then without Jalen Brunson, and the Mid-Kings. So I'm not saying that the Warriors are a fraud, but it would kind of be nice to see a quality win. So one knock is a weak schedule, but the other problem is something Jimmy could never fix. The only Warriors role players with big game experience are Gary Payton II, Buddy Hield, and Kevon Looney. Outside of that, like Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga have 465 playoff minutes combined. Brandon Podziemski's only experience is the play-in loss last year. And what about Quentin Post? Oh man, they found this dude in the second round. He's a 7-footer who can shoot. Warriors have needed that forever. Yeah, okay, he's great for a second-round pick, but his defense ain't great, and he is the exact type of guy who is unplayable in the postseason. And this is Steve Kerr we're talking about. I mean, this man doesn't even trust JK and Moody as lottery picks. Quentin Post? No, we're going to see a lot of Kevon Looney and Trace Jackson Davis, which is a hole in the roster. So championship depth is a problem. Just think about like the Celtics, right? They've got their own big three: Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis. Then they got Drew Holiday, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. And playing the Celtics, by the way, would be a dream, okay? First, you gotta get out of the West. So as of now, round 1 is a 3-6 matchup with the Lakers, ESPN's biggest dream. Can you imagine another LeBron Warriors rematch? Remember, LA beat the Dubs 2 years ago in the second round, but that was with AD. It is Jackson Hayes at center now. A much better matchup for Golden State. The real problem there is Luka. Now, the Warriors beat Dallas in their title run, slowing Luka down with double teams. Now, that would allow LeBron to take over, but you could see Golden State coming out on top. The Nuggets would be a fight as well, but the biggest threat is OKC. If the Thunder play like they have in the regular season, they will cruise to the NBA Finals. But will they? A fact went viral recently that OKC's roster is just about 1 year older than the March Madness team Auburn. That's not good. Doesn't it make you just a little nervous to have that young a team, no matter how good they are, against Golden State's experience? Oh, but what about the 1 seed? OKC's been so great in the regular season. Yeah, but that's the thing about great young teams. They need to prove themselves so bad that they go all out for the 1 seed. Like, just think about the young Celtics before they were ready, lost in the conference finals 2017. Raptors before Kawhi lost in the second round. All these teams here, with the exception of the Jazz and the Sixers, got the 1 seed. But veteran teams save their best for the playoffs. So I'm not saying that the 1 seed is a bad thing for OKC. It just guarantees nothing. So yes, the Warriors have a legit chance to make the finals and play Boston or Cleveland or whatever, and especially with playoff Jimmy. Because for as great as Jimmy has been so far, he gets even better in big games. It's how he took Miami to 2 NBA finals, dragging them almost by himself, but now he has finally got a player better than him on the roster. So if the Dubs somehow win this thing in the next few years, maybe then Jimmy won't be so underrated, because everywhere this dude goes, he's got the impact of an MVP. But the Luka trade just keeps getting worse for the Dallas Mavericks. They might be the first team in NBA history now to actually have to forfeit games. So I had to look at what's gone wrong, but why GM Nico Harrison is not going to survive what happens next.